Setting up SMTP email services for cloud users is incredibly simple. Of course, if you have already set it up through the operator controls and it's all working, there's no real need to change. If not though, let's look at how we can use the new automated system. So from the HollaEx dashboard, navigate to Hosting, the Domain tab, and the second blue button under Setup Email. We get a quick description of what we're going to do and we can move on. So here we need to enter what domain name will be used. This does have to be a domain under your control, which you have access to the DNS settings for. It could be the actual domain that your exchange is hosted on, or you could use a separate domain if you want the email name to be different. For me, I'm just going to use this williamexchange.com, the same one I use to host the exchange. After this, we are going to get requested to add 3 records to that domain's DNS settings. At this point, we need to swap over to the DNS settings page on whatever provider you're using. So here are my DNS settings. We can see that it's all just set up for hosting the exchange at the moment, so we need to add those 3 records, which I'll do now. In my case, you may notice there's a very slight modification that was needed to the dashboard provided record names. This is simply due to how your provider works with records. In essence, if you run into problems checking the record in the next step, come back to your DNS settings and remove the actual domain from the name field. So in my case, instead of email.williamexchange.com as was copied, I just actually needed email by itself. Likewise for the other 2. So with these 3 records added, as you can see here, go back to that menu on the dashboard and click the check button. Hopefully you'll see 3 green checks for each record and we can click next. This is all we need to do, thankfully. Let the change be applied, which you can monitor in the Events tab of the dashboard. It only takes a few minutes to do and will be notified of completion. Now let's move over to the actual exchange to check it out. One thing you'll need to do is refresh and then log back in. So I'll do this, and here we are logged in again. Head to the operator controls, then General from the sidebar and the Email tab. We can see that all the fields have been filled out for me, so let's give it a test run with this send admin test email link at the bottom. Chuck in whatever email address and let's send that tester to it. Heading over to that Gmail now, here's what I see. Not the most exciting email of course, but it's good to know that everything is set up and working. We can see the domain name I chose and the sender being named my exchange's name, support. Thanks for watching.